We've always known that Shakespeare was a collaborative artist in the sense that he was a man of the theatre, which is an inherently social collaborative art form. He must have worked with other people to put plays on. But what's really news in Shakespeare studies is that he collaborated at the moment of writing, and he did it a lot. It wasn't an exceptional occurrence. It was a normal way of working for large parts of Shakespeare's career. In 1634, not very long after his death, was published an edition of The Two Noble Kinsmen, which says on its title page that the play was written by William Shakespeare and John Fletcher. But for a long time that was the only very clear example of Shakespeare as a collaborative author. It wasn't really until the mid-19th century that scholarship investigating the minutiae of the writing started to throw up the suspicion that plays we have long thought were Shakespeare's alone were in fact co-written. He collaborated at the start of his career and towards the end of his career. There's a long run in the middle where there's not much evidence for him collaborating as a writer. There's some. Just why Shakespeare would collaborate on a play can really be answered in its most simple form by considering why any of us collaborate on anything. The typical answer is that we are aware that we have particular strengths and weaknesses, and by bringing together teams of people, the strengths can become complementary and the weaknesses can be, as it were, the gaps can be filled in, the weaknesses can be covered up. That seems to be the logic for Shakespeare collaborating. He worked with other men on the writing in areas where he, it seems, thought he wouldn't be as good as they would be. For example, there are a series of conventions that were giving rise to very successful plays called city comedies, and Shakespeare may well have wanted to write such a drama and have felt that he wasn't really experienced in that area. He wrote with Thomas Middleton a play called Timon of Athens that seems to be something of a city comedy in that sense of showing the worst of human nature, showing how people get taken advantage of in an urban context. And one reasonable supposition would be that he co-wrote that with Thomas Middleton because although he knew he could write the tragic element of this story, the more cynical urban aspect was something Middleton specialised in, and Shakespeare wanted that for his next play.